What's up, movie fans? Welcome back to the Hills Maniacs. I'm the master of movies, Clay, and today I'm going to be talking about top 10 movie characters that could survive the zombie apocalypse. Now, I wanted to do this because we're on the last season of The Walking Dead, and because Marvel just released a What If series where the heroes were zombies, and so I kind of thought it would be cool to see what other movie characters would be able to survive the zombie apocalypse, whether it be because of the skills that they have or their ability to just think really intelligently. And no, Sherlock Holmes is not on here because I personally don't think he would make it. But I compiled a list of some movie characters that I think would at least last a while, if not the entire time, during a zombie apocalypse. And most of them, it's because they are very skillful with multiple weapons and multiple ways of killing people. And most of them know how to fight in some way, shape, or form. And a lot of good survival techniques for some of them, and some of them are just plain awesome. I guess I should mention that before we start that I did not include any superheroes, anybody that has any sort of magic power, or anybody that can use some sort of ability that would be unfair towards the zombies, such as like the Force from Star Wars. So you won't see any Star Wars characters. There's no Harry Potter because there's magic, and there are no superheroes, whether it be DC, Marvel, whatever. Because I'm trying to think. Obviously, a lot of them would survive the zombie apocalypse. They have magic powers. So I'm trying to think basically real human-ish characters that would be able to survive. So let's get into this. I'll start with number 10 and work my way down to number 1, with 10 being the person I think would survive, but maybe not as long as some of the other people, and then number 1 being the person that could survive probably the longest out of anybody on this list. So number 10, and I know this is kind of cheating because he is technically already a zombie, so that wouldn't really be fair, but I said Jason Voorhees. I know technically you could say that he has some sort of power that allows him to live forever and certain things, which is why I didn't put Freddy Krueger on this list. And he is technically already dead anyways. But I just think that it would be really cool to see Jason Voorhees trying to survive a zombie apocalypse. I just think that would be really, really cool to see. So he's number 10 on this list. Number 9, I have Arnold Schwarzenegger's character from Predator. His name was Dutch. And I think he'd be able to survive just basically because if you look at what he did in the movie, how he survived the Predator, he was clever when coming up with hiding his thermal heat produced by his body so that the Predator couldn't find him. And he was very good with different weapons and very skillful. And it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. So I think he would at least survive maybe a little bit. I don't know if he would survive the whole time, but he'd probably survive longer than Jason, just because I think Jason would be one of those people that would just be like, oh, just come at me, and I'll just kill all of you and probably get bit and not really care. The next one I have is number 8, is John Kramer, the Jigsaw killer from the Saw franchise. And the reason I put him on here is, if you've ever seen Saw, he's very clever when coming up with elaborate traps for people to try and escape, and I think he'd be able to use that if he focused it right, and creating these traps to maybe create a trap for zombies so that he could survive, or find a way to kill off multiple zombies at once to kind of clear a path or something. I think he'd be able to use that skill to kind of come up with the zombie apocalypse. Now, when it comes to, if these didn't work and he ends up getting chased, I think he would get turned into a zombie really quick, because he really doesn't do much other than create these traps. So John Kramer was number 8. Number 7 on my list, again, kind of cheating because he's basically immortal anyways. I said Michael Myers because he is a human, technically, even though he's pretty much considered to be immortal in the Halloween franchise. But again, just like Jason, I think it would be really cool to see Michael Myers fighting against these like zombies and possibly helping other people to survive. I just think it would be really cool to see how well he would do. And it does seem like he would probably get bit right away, because he doesn't move that fast, but who knows, he can basically teleport, so he might be able to just do that and escape and survive. I don't think he'll last that long if he were to be in a zombie apocalypse, but I just think it would be cool to see. They should try that, maybe like a Halloween spoof type of thing where Michael Myers is in a zombie apocalypse. I think that would be neat. The next one I have is Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. And the reason I put him on here is just because he's basically, like, I don't think he'll last very long because he's really arrogant and he'd probably get a lot of people killed, including himself. But I just think he would be able to probably withstand at least a few zombies, maybe. He could fight them off, and I think he would possibly maybe be able to fight to distract a group or fight off a group to let others escape. Who knows? But again, he's self-centered and selfish, so he probably wouldn't even care if these other people survived, and he would probably die right away. But he made this list just because I think he would be able to last a little bit during a zombie apocalypse. Number 5, I have Kevin McCallister, the boy from Home Alone. And again, kind of like John Kramer, he's got this ability to create these elaborate booby traps for the people breaking into his house, and who's to say he couldn't use some of this to take out a few zombies and maybe save the day. I mean, a paint can swinging off of a balcony could definitely decapitate a zombie, and if the zombies are like the zombies from The Walking Dead, to where you have to hit them in the head for them to die, that might be able to come in handy. Number 4, I have Katniss Everdeen from the Hunger Games franchise. And the reason I put her here is because, obviously, if you've seen the Hunger Games, she's really skilled with her bow and arrow, and she's really good at using other weapons. Of course, she had to learn that pretty quick, how to survive kind of out in the wilderness and survive being attacked by other people. The next one I have, number 3, is Legolas from Lord of the Rings. And again, I know technically he's an elf, and elves have magic in Lord of the Rings, but because he doesn't really ever use magic, I'm allowing him to be part of this list. And we know how skilled a fighter Legolas is, so he obviously would survive a good while in the zombie apocalypse. Number 2, I have Lieutenant Ellen Ripley from the Alien franchise. We've seen the kind of stuff she can do in the Alien movies, and I just think she would survive a good long while in the zombie apocalypse with those skills that she has, and just the way that she thinks to do certain things in order to fend off the aliens. I think she would be able to use that ability in the zombie apocalypse. And number 1, the person I think that would survive the longest, John Wick. And if you've seen the John Wick movies, you know he's pretty good at using pretty much anything he can get his hands on to kill somebody. And that would come in handy quite a bit if you're in the zombie apocalypse. And not just that, he's a good fighter. We've seen him have some basically unarmed fights, and then he didn't have a gun or something, so he had to use something else after he disarmed his opponent. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I had really fun coming up with this list, and stay tuned for next week when I do a video on 10 movie characters that would not survive the zombie apocalypse for whatever reason, with the same rules applying, no heroes or magic users or things like that. So anyways, guys, there you go. Thanks for watching. Check out what else we got going on this channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.